This podcast is part of the Shrimp Queen Network.
Visit facebook.com/Shrimp Queen Network to see more great podcasts.
Hear them.
Hear more great podcasts.
Good job.
Thanks for listening. If you wanna be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. Jess, you wanna finish it off?
I'm so okay.
I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way.
Great job.
Okay. Welcome to I almost said 2017. 2019.
Welcome to 2014.
Welcome to 2012. The world doesn't suck as much. Or maybe it did. I don't know.
You said 2012?
Welcome to
The world
2000.
ended in 2012, right?
Well, welcome to 2008. The financial crisis is crippling. Millions have lost their jobs and homes.
Okay.
All right.
Hi.
Hello. And let's just jump into it. This is our first, redux. Like, it's our first
What?
of oh shit, no it isn't. I was gonna say it's an update of a list we've already done, but last week's was with the best games of 2018.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that one.
Yeah, you weren't, but we had a
great
time. Julie was here, JJ was here.
Really happy. I did some running around, some errands, and then I came back and I just chilled, played some Resogun. Sorry, and also for my voice being so low, I'm losing it because I think I'm a little sick. But when am I not? Am I right? Can't talk any louder. It hurts.
Okay.
So
We'll just have to keep that in mind then. And I'll just move the microphone a little bit closer to
that
you.
better?
Because I have a naturally projected voice. It comes from being on the stage.
Okay, so would you like to say what the list is? Because you haven't done that.
Welcome to 10 for 10. I realized we kind of dropped off in explaining what the show is at the beginning, because we probably should do that in case there are new listeners.
Show where there's lists about 10 things, though sometimes there's not 10 things on the list.
Okay,
But
each of us,
there's supposed to be.
in alternating weeks, we each take a list, write a top 10 list of something that we like a lot, like dogs, video games, TV shows, cryptids and supernatural creatures,
serial killers,
just a whole bunch of fun stuff. And as I said, each one of us writes one a week and then kind of presents it to the other person for critique and questions and jokes.
We're not here to make fun of each other or be mean, though.
Boy, I will roast
one
you.
One of us is, not me. But yeah.
Prepare to be roasted.
Just tell what you like.
All right. So this week's list is the top 10 films of 2018, the year of our Lord, 2018.
That's our Lord?
The year of our Lord.
My Lord is Jonathan Van
I can't
Ness,
believe that the Earth is 2019 years old now. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, Jesus was born 2019 years ago. Come on.
So the Earth is 2020 years old, is what you're saying.
Sure.
So
go to church.
I have two kind of mini lists before. First,
Excuse me. What?
Well, I have my biggest disappointments of the year, and then,
both of them are...
The short.
When you say short, they're 5 each, right?
No.
We talked about this.
That's honorable mentions, and even that
No,
isn't
it's
six.
any list other than the actual
biggest
list.
disappointments, I just kind of wish these movies were better. I'm not saying that all of these are on the same level of badness. Some of them are worse than others. Some of them are just okay, but I thought they were going to be good. We get it. So, number one, with a bullet, easily... biggest disappointment, The Predator. Terrible. Bad movie.
I've never seen any of the other ones, so I didn't really care. I had a great time.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, I liked that.
Aquaman. Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Didn't see that.
Venom. And
Didn't
then
see that.
Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, which was probably the worst Harry Potter movie.
I said, okay, I had many feelings about that movie. I was going into it like, look, I know it's not going to be great, but then it really pissed me off at the end. I was fine. I was like having a good time. I was like, whatever, And then the last line, I literally wanted to go up and punch the screen.
No, like the third act of that movie was just so bad. It was just people running around trying to find each other and then standing in a room and talking for like 20 minutes and just
story, though,
this is my backstory.
But no,
cool backstory. Like, this is my backstory.
I was fine the entire movie until the end, and then I got angry.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
And my best friend who loves Harry Potter still hasn't seen it, and so I can't talk to her about it because she's the only one who I think will like get on my level about how I feel about it. I won't say what it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I want people to go and watch these movies because they're great. This is my heard they were good and I want to see them, and this is probably why they're not on the list. A Star is Born, Roma.
I saw A Star is Born though. And it was good.
Roma, Annihilation, Black Klansman, Searching, and First Man. And then I have my actual honorable mentions. These were good movies.
Jesus Christ, Daniel.
These were good, just not good enough.
That's 3 lists, you realize?
Yep. Bumblebee, Bad Times at the El Royale, Incredibles 2, Deadpool 2, Isle of Dogs, Black Panther, and Crazy Rich Asians.
That's more than... How many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sept.
Damn. It's not a fucking joke. Don't. This is 4 lists in one episode.
Hells yeah, it is, baby. Let's get into it. Number 10. I did a 10 with my hands. Released June 1st, 2018. Upgrade. Written and directed by Lee Winnell. Starring
What is that?
Logan, I'll get to it. It stars Logan Marshall Green, Betty Gabriel, and Harrison Gilbertson. So Lee Winnell is the guy who...
Did you see this in theaters?
No. He co-created the Saw franchise. He wrote and starred in the Cooties movie. He plays a science teacher in that.
I know who he is now.
He has a brief cameo in Aquaman. Anyway, so Logan Marshall Green portrays Gray Trace, a man who has recently been the victim of a brutal crime that left him paralyzed from the neck down and took his wife from him. An eccentric and mysterious billionaire offers him the chance to be a guinea pig for the billionaire's latest invention, STEM, which will, allow him to regain the use of his body and live life as normal as possible. So Gray accepts and soon realizes that not only does STEM have an artificial intelligence that personifies itself as a voice inside his head, but that it might actually be able to help him solve the murder of his wife.
Cool. So when did you watch this?
When it came out on Blu-ray. I had a free rental from Redbox.
But when? Was it when I was away?
Probably.
I was going to say, I never remember you mentioning it.
It was really good.
Nice.
So why this made the list? This was, and many people have said this before me, I'm not the first to come up with this. This was kind of the Venom movie that we deserved, right down to the Tom Hardy lookalike who starred in it. Logan Marshall Green looks a lot like Tom Hardy. It's about a guy who gets these special abilities granted to him by a thing that's kind of in him and talks to him, and he goes out and kind of becomes an anti-hero because of it. And it came out before Venom, but then it came out on Blu-ray and DVD around the time that Venom was released, and it's just like night and day how much better this movie is. That's mostly due to the very relatable and likable lead. You want him to succeed in what he's doing. You feel really bad for him when bad things happen to him in the beginning of the movie. His portrayal, Logan Marshall Green's, is particularly enjoyable during fight scenes because he allows this thing to take over his body, but, he's not doing these things. The machine is. So the fights are really cool to look at. They're choreographed interestingly. They're like how a computer would fight. It would fight in the most efficient way possible. Yeah. Basically, fewest moves, least risk, least amount of risk, all that. So he's just kind of a passenger while his body does all this crazy shit around him. It's a really good he's a really good physical actor because of it, because you can see there are two different characters going on at the same time with this one body. There are fantastic visuals, great cinematography, and engaging fight scenes, like I just mentioned, which becomes even more impressive when you know that the film was made on a budget of about $3 to $5 million, which is practically nothing. I
was gonna say, I don't really know what that means. To me, that's a lot of money.
For a benchmark, like Aquaman was, I think, $250 million. That's what that budget was. But still,
that seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, $3 to $5 million is a lot of money, but when you think about
if it's not a lot,
paying
just
people,
give it to me,
doing the effects, and even like some effects were
practical.
All of it, practically all of it's practical. Some effects were achieved. There's this really cool way that the camera moves, literally by just strapping an iPhone onto Logan Marshall Green's waist, and like that's how they filmed some of the fight scenes that are just stable and tracking on his body while everything kind of moves around him. So really, I think that lower budget movies can be fantastic, especially in the sci-fi horror genre, because I think creators have to really think of new ways to approach situations, and that's how innovations are achieved.
Cool. I've never heard of this movie at all, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think you would dig it.
Thank you.
It also has a really well-written story with great humor and poignant social commentary. It kind of reminds me of a well-done episode of Black Mirror that just isn't super smug about the point that it's trying to make about, like, technology taking over our lives and stuff. It's not
There's very few episodes of Black Mirror that are just kind of like, and that was that.
Or, like, they're really subtle. A lot of them are just like, social media, technology, computer. I love that show, but sometimes it's really on the nose, and it does not come off well when it is like that.
What's your number 9?
Okay, yeah, that was my last. We're on the same wavelength. That was my last bullet point.
I've started to be able to tell.
Yeah. Okay, number 9. Let's see if you can guess this based on the release date.
Oh, my God.
October 19th, 2018.
Oh, Halloween?
Fuck yes. Directed by David Gordon Green and written by Jeff Fradley, Danny McBride of all people, and David Gordon Green himself.
And stars Jamie Lee Curtis.
As well as Judy Greer, Andy
love that bitch.
Matichak, Will Patton, and James Jude Courtney. So, set 40 years after the events of the original film, Laurie Strode has alienated everyone in her life in prepping for Michael Myers' eventual escape. Meanwhile...
That's not how you... say the last name. Myers.
Myers.
Actually, you're just supposed to say the Myers.
The Myers?
Like Michael Myers. Yeah, you're not supposed to. Michael Myers is.
Anywho, meanwhile, Laurie's daughter, Karen, and granddaughter, Allison, try to live their lives as normally as possible as Halloween grows ever near. It turns out that Laurie's fears were well realized as Michael escapes a transfer bus just in time for the eponymous night to begin.
Like the little bitch he is.
Why this is on the list. So, it retcons all the crap out of the Halloween series, even though... Retcon means to go back and rewrite the previous history.
Oh, yeah, it deleted every other sequel.
Even though I enjoy Halloween 2 and H2O particularly.
But to get this and delete all of the others was just fine.
Yeah, especially the Thorn trilogy, which is...
What's that
I've already discussed it on the show. It's the one where... It turns out that Michael Myers is actually like a hero trying to protect the world from the apocalypse by sacrificing people every Halloween time. And that's why he can't die, because he has powers.
Like Cabin in the Woods. Like it's all
Yeah. So Cabin in the Woods ripped off the terrible Halloween movies. And then there's also Halloween Resurrection, which is just terrible. That's easily the worst in the series, probably. That's the one where Busta Rhymes kicks him in the nuts.
The one that they're on their boat? That one's H2O?
No, that's Friday the 13th, Part 8.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
On a fucking, like, ferry boat.
Yeah,
right?
The whole time is a cruise ship for some kid's graduation. Cruise ship, then. Yeah, it was a really small budget.
It's not a cruise. It was a ferry boat.
Yeah, it's basically a ferry.
Okay, sorry. I got them mixed up, but go on.
So this resurrects Laurie Strode for a well-earned reunion with Michael Myers.
She wasn't dead.
Yeah, she was. She was dead in both other timelines.
At the end of the first one.
Oh, that's what I mean. It retcons all the ones where she's died.
Oh, she died?
Yeah, in the Thorn trilogy, she dies in a car accident between 2 and 4. And then in the H2O timeline, she gets killed at the beginning of Resurrection. Because she accidentally kills the wrong person at the end of H2O is revealed in Resurrection. So then she like has to be sure that it's Michael that she's going to kill. And he grabs her and stabs her and throws her off a roof. Oh,
wow.
It's a pretty bad ending for a great character.
Wowza Magowza.
So Jamie Lee Curtis gives one of the best performances of her career.
She looked good.
Yeah, portraying the strength of a survivor, but the vulnerability of a woman who has lived her whole life looking over her shoulder.
In fear.
Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, Will Patton, Virginia Gardner, and Miles Robbins also give great performances.
Judy Greer,
as well.
she had me.
Yeah, Judy Greer. This was pretty like against type for her.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me.
Especially seeing her like my first thing for her. It's like, fuck, I gotta think of what it's called. Oh, wow, I just fucked up. 13 Going on 30, and then in like 27 Dresses. Like I'm used to her in those, and then she was in like Jurassic World, but she was still like she's just a mom.
Yeah, and
I was like, bitch.
I always hear her as Cheryl Tunt from Archer as well, which is pretty funny. But this was really good for her. It reminds me
she got me. She tricked me at one point.
Of when Catherine Hahn was in The Visit. Like, it's against type, but it works well for that actor.
Fuck that movie.
So James Jude Courtney steps into the overalls of Michael Myers expertly with one of the creepiest and most effective performances for the character since the original 2 films. Even though the original Michael Myers, Nick Castle, does play him for one scene in the movie, just to kind of like get back, Although he was originally credited as
it's not like anybody ever has to like voice him though, you know?
Yeah. In the original, so
must be real nice. You're getting paid so much to just slowly walk and shit. I mean, then it's
not just that. You're portraying a character without speaking. I know, which is really
but I'm
difficult.
saying like it seems like he gets to chill a lot, and like that seems nice and relaxing. Because a lot of his scenes are like stalking.
Yeah, but also he has to get hit with bats and thrown out windows.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like it's like a really cool role because like on one hand like you gotta do like a lot of shit, but then you do get to chill.
It is
like Jamie Lee Curtis, she has to be like running and like freaking out the entire time, while he can just kind of be like, I'll get there.
It's like when I played the character of Daniel Bozome in Once on This Island.
Remember, I didn't see you in that. Okay, I didn't care about you at that point.
Excuse me. Anyway, he gets knocked out pretty early in the first act, so I just got to lay down for
you just
like
get to
half of the first act, basically. But I get it.
He just gets to stalk a little.
Yeah.
Slowly sneak.
The script itself is tight, scary.
I liked the girl who played the granddaughter.
Yeah, Andy Matichak. That's her.
Yeah, she was good.
It's surprisingly funny at the right times. It doesn't overdo it, I think. I think it does have some laughs in kind of dark places, but also when it wants to be
where
creepy.
They should be.
It's very creepy. The kills carried out by Michael are gruesome, shocking, and endlessly entertaining, specifically one where he stomps a guy's head in, which is just...
I thought we weren't giving spoilers.
I didn't say whose head it was, where it's just like the whole audience we saw it with just gasped and kind of let out a groan.
One guy let out a, yeah! And I was like, all right, man. All right, sir. There were like a few people when we went to see it that were just like, they were so hype, but it was like fun.
I was hype.
No, but I mean, like, instead of being like, oh, like for like every kill, they were just like, yeah, like do it. Like, you got this, Michael.
That reminds me of when I went to go see Scream 4 in theaters when it came out.
I'm sorry.
And at the end when Unfabulous is going to, she's like faking.
Did you just call her Unfabulous?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts is like faking an attack, and there's a glass table behind her.
She throws herself onto the table.
And then everybody in the theater started chanting table, and then she did it, and everyone cheered.
Yeah.
Next, I have in all capitals, the music, boy!
Stop.
Because the music was... almost everything on my list, the music was great in. I guess that's something that I really like in a movie. The score, yes. But even some of the soundtracks.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's mostly really like, for this one, it's mostly like a score, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got that classic... ding, 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 ding,
that's my theme song. When I walk places, it plays behind me. And
also some really, really good new music as well.
And it was really cool when she like traded places with her daughter, and they woke up and they were like, "What? You're in my body?"
Oh, Freaky Friday.
No, this was in Halloween
with Judy
Lindsay
Greer.
Lohan was in it for just a brief moment.
Anyway, the music was far out, and it was a good throwback to John Carpenter's greatest hits, basically. And you know me, I love a well-made slasher, and this totally qualifies as one. It's nice to see a long-deserved sequel to a classic horror film being made instead of a remake, or like a reboot. And now I say, if only we can get another Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street movie, maybe. But I think LeBron James...
With like OG... cast?
Yeah.
Wait, what about LeBron James?
LeBron James is trying to produce another Friday the 13th movie.
I thought you were saying he was trying to star in it, and I was like, yes, I'll take
Jess,
that.
you look thirsty. You want a Sprite cranberry, by the way?
I still don't understand that, and I've never seen that meme. You just keep saying it and telling me
it's the thirstiest time.
All right, what's number 8?
Of the year. Number 8, released November 21st, 2018.
Hold on. Did I see it?
No, I saw it. I did a list in the lead up to this movie as well.
Did you see it in theaters?
Yes. November 21st. Thanksgiving time.
Mission? No, it wasn't a mission movie. It wasn't a... Can I get a theme of the movie? Like a what kind of movie?
Creed. Creed 2, yes. Directed by Stephen Caple Jr., written by Jewel Taylor and Sylvester Stallone, starring Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, Tessa Thompson. Hodson?
Yeah.
Michael B. Hodson, Wood Harris, Felicia Rashad, Dolph Lundgren, and Florian Munteanu. So, set 3 years after the events of Creed, Adonis has just won the WBC World Heavyweight Championship. He proposes to Bianca, who's played by Tessa Thompson, and finds out that he's going to be a father. Adonis is approached about fighting the son of Ivan Drago, the man who killed his father, Apollo Creed. Despite Rocky's warning. Yeah, despite Rocky's warnings.
Does not have cancer anymore.
He beat it in the first one. Adonis accepts, moves to LA, and prepares for the toughest fight of his life. Whether or not Rocky will be there to train him or not. Will he?
I think he will.
No, maybe he doesn't.
I think he will.
Maybe he doesn't.
I think he does.
Anyway, this is a great addition to the Rocky series, even if it isn't better than the first Creed film, which is kind of hard to beat. I think the first Creed is pretty amazing. It has some of the best filmed and most brutal fights in the entire series, accompanied by another fantastic score by Ludwig Göransson.
How are the wow, I can't think of the type of scene.
Training montage?
The montage.
Yes, the training montage is great.
I can't think of anything tonight, guys.
And it blends the music specifically.
Is it on
again
the
blends epic, no, it doesn't have a mountaintop. It blends like an epic score with modern rap. And there's this one part.
Isn't there like a remix of the Rocky theme with? Didn't they do like a rap?
That's only on like the soundtrack of the first one. But in this one, I think it was also Childish Gambino who did that one specifically. But this one is A$AP Rocky.
Him and Donald Glover look so much alike.
This one has A$AP Rocky doing, rapping over Ludwig Göransson's score and a song called Runnin'. And it's really great. And they're out in the desert and he's getting hit in the stomach with a weighted ball and
ow.
They're like taking it back to basics because
so like a medicine
this movie,
ball?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also he has this contraption where he lifts weights with his head to strengthen his neck. So it's harder.
That hurts my neck right now.
So it's harder for him to get a concussion and therefore to be knocked out.
My neck hurts right now. And so that hurts me. Thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
Not hardcore.
But this movie kind of blends a lot of great elements from Rocky 2, 3, and 4 into one movie. Mm-hmm. And those are 3 of the best in the series, as you probably remember from my list before. Yeah. Blends kind of like the marriage and family elements of Rocky 2, the villains from Rocky 4, obviously, and then a lot of the elements from Rocky 3, which I can't really go into without spoiling a lot, so I won't. The cinematography and color palette are some of the best in the series. This is a very pretty looking movie, and not just because of Michael B. Jordan. The characters are all likable and well written. Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone in particular bounce well off of each other, and Jordan holds the weight of the series on his shoulders fantastically. It's actually pretty crazy how much happens in this movie without it feeling overstuffed or making it drag. The villains in particular, Ivan Drago himself, are also really fleshed out and three-dimensional, which is a welcome change to the one-dimensional supervillain we saw Drago be in Rocky IV. So he actually has depth, and you kind of understand his motivations and really what happened to him after he lost in Rocky IV, spoiler alert, and what's motivated him to...
Oh, Ivan Drago.
Yeah. What's motivated him to train his son to basically...
But they were talking about his son, and I was like, his son was in Rocky IV?
Also, it deals with the themes of expectations and legacy, family, and perseverance effectively. And as you mentioned, the training montages are very good. And I said that this movie will get you pumped. It'll get you fluffed.
Ew.
I want those pillows looking fluffed. Number 7. I wonder if you can guess this one. Released February 23rd. Yeah. February 23rd, 2018. It's a little...
Obviously 2018, Daniel. They're all 2018.
2011.
Okay.
February 23rd.
Can I get a...
We saw it on February 24th, according to my Regal app.
Okay, it means nothing to me. Can I get a type of movie?
It is a comedy. It's a bit of an ensemble comedy. It involves a group of friends.
Don't they all?
No, not necessarily. In Bridesmaids, they aren't friends.
It's a comedy?
Yes. It's very funny.
Can I get
probably
an
the
actor?
funniest movie. Jason Bateman.
Oh, Tag. No.
What?
He wasn't in it. No, Game Night.
Yeah.
Tag. I was, because he said Jason, so I immediately was like,
what Jason is in Tag?
What the fuck is his name? I don't know his fucking name. The one... there's a Jason in it. The main, isn't he in it? No, oh shit, he's not in it.
Are you thinking about Jason Statham?
No, Jason Sudeikis.
No, Jason Sudeikis isn't
Wow,
in it
Jason
either.
Sudeikis, where are you? I thought he was in one of them for a minute.
He's in Horrible Bosses with Jason Bateman and Charlie Day. But no, he's not in Tag. So, Game Night was directed...
Oh, I was thinking of Ed Helms.
Jason Helms.
That's all.
Was directed by John Francis Daly from Freaks and Geeks and Jonathan Goldstein. It was written by Mark Perez, and it stars Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams, Kyle Chandler, Billy Magnuson, Sharon Horgan, Lamorne Morris, Kyle Bunbury, and Jesse Plemons.
Sorry, I was just thinking of the one idiot friend. Billy.
Oh, Billy, yeah. Billy Magnuson plays.
He's so stupid in it.
I love him kind of near the beginning when they're going over all the girls that he's brought to the game nights, and they're playing that one game where you can't say what the word is, but you can give clues, and he's better than everybody, superior, greatest, and she's oh, white people. And everyone's
whoa.
So the...
It's not catchphrase, is it?
Is it? It could be catchphrase. Yeah, that's a lot of game. Yeah, password, catchphrase. Catchphrase is the one that Jimmy Fallon always plays, right?
No, that's password.
The one where you pass the thing to everyone and it counts down. Is that password or catchphrase? Well, it doesn't matter.
Because it's here's the password. And then it whispers
password is.
Yeah, and then it whispers it.
So... Quick synopsis, the uber-competitive couple, Annie and Max, are trying to have a child, but they're kind of impeded by Max's feelings of inadequacy when compared to his older brother, Brooks, played by Coach Taylor himself. So when Brooks comes to visit and host their weekly game night himself, things take a turn for the worst, and the hilarious when he is kidnapped for real. But Max, Annie, and their group of friends believe it all to be part of an elaborate escape room-esque act.
Not for too long, though.
So now the race is on to get Brooks back if everyone will take it seriously.
We get 2 Friday Night Lights people in this, guys.
So why this is on the list, it is easily one of the best comedies of the year, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I thought it was just going to be kind of like a meh Tag kind of movie, but it was actually like really, really tight.
Tag was good.
It was okay.
I enjoyed it.
The jokes and situations are well written and well executed. There are some nice.
I love Rachel McAdams, and am I right?
Yeah, there are some nice running gags and like callbacks throughout the movie, such as the Denzel Washington thing, which actually apparently there's a post-credit scene of this movie that we never watched involving that guy. I didn't see it. Oh, I didn't see it.
From the second time, from when we watched it not long ago.
Oh, I didn't even see it. There are also some well done twists and turns, as it acts as a pretty decent mystery as well. The fantastic ensemble cast, who all work very well together, are all on their A game. They're very entertaining to watch. They kind of pair off in parts, but when they're all together, it's hilarious.
Yeah, because it starts as all of them trying to win.
Specifically the scene I like when Jason Bateman gets shot in the arm and Rachel McAdams has to get the bullet out and clean the wound.
Scene, and then she's like, oh no, there's another hole. Did you get shot twice?
Rachel McAdams is really funny in this movie.
I love her. She's a funny person.
Yeah, very good. Who were we talking to who said that they didn't think Rachel McAdams was funny and then remembered that she actually starred in Mean Girls?
We were talking to someone about that?
I saw someone say that. Maybe I saw it online and thought that it was someone that I was talking to because my reality is...
sorry, but Avery, I feel like, would say that.
Possibly.
No offense, Avery, because I know that you're going to listen. Goodbye.
You also easily believe that it's a very realistic group of friends who all have their own lives and issues. There are also some great appearances by Michael C. Hall, Chelsea Peretti, and Danny Houston as well.
Is he the one?
The one from X-Men Origins Wolverine. He plays Stryker in that. He plays like a rich guy in this. Yeah.
But then there's also the guy from the Hunger Games is in it as like the guy who's supposed to be kidnapping, like the fake FBI agent.
Oh yeah. Jeffrey Wright.
He's in that show Westworld. That you watch. That one.
Yeah. He's like
that famous
the best character in Westworld, in my opinion. Yeah. So it also looks really good. Like this is what like. Made me go, whoa.
The way that they shot, like, the towns and all was, like, really cool.
And I said in terms of camera work and cinematography, in particular, the effect that you mentioned that makes it look like wide shots are toys. Yeah. I thought they were actual, like
miniatures.
Miniatures, but it turns out they're not. You do that in, like, if you shoot at some specific time of day with a specific type of shutter speed and stuff, you can make it look like a toy.
Also, the credits...
Yeah, they're really funny.
Fabulous.
The kidnapping scene is really cool. It's actually like a really well choreographed fight scene. And there's a standout continuous tracking shot throughout the mansion at one mansion at one point.
Another one of the running gags is him saying she's British and she's like, I'm Irish.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. And he's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing.
I like the scene where he's trying to pay off Chelsea Peretti, and he just like
a 20, then a 10, then a 5.
And he's just going so slow.
And she's like, you don't have, she's like, give him something else. And he's like, I only have $35.
Personally, also this movie I relate to because you and I are usually the game night hosts, and I've been known to get a little competitive when it comes to game nights.
Let's see, the other night we had to tell him, roll it back, please.
What? I'm sorry that I'm just so good at Catan and I didn't even know it.
Wow.
So seeing that kind of character on screen was a nice element because also, it reminded me of us.
Oh, God.
In a good way.
Okay.
Number 6. Release date March 16th, 2018, but we saw it a week early.
A week? A full week?
Yeah, we saw it like before it came out because it was like a special thing.
Oh god, is it a superhero one? No.
New. I wish I saw a superhero movie a week early.
Come on, I can't remember when movies came out.
It's based on a book.
Wow, Crazy Rich Asians. No.
I already said that as an honorable mention.
Oh, I did.
And we saw that well after it came out. It was like empty.
It was so good though.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Can I get another hint other than based off of books? Like so many movies are based off of books. You idiot. No offense, I'm so sorry.
It stars Nick Robinson.
Nick Robinson is...
Josh Duhamel.
Josh, I know.
Jennifer Garner. Catherine Langford.
I know who all these people are. Oh my God, love Simon.
Yes, there we go. So it was also directed by... I was
literally like, I saw a movie with these people. Wow, and I fucking love that movie.
It was directed by Greg Berlanti, written by Isaac Apteker and Elizabeth Berger, but based on the book
beautiful.
Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli.
So beautiful.
So along with those people that I mentioned, it also stars Jorge or George Lendeborg and Logan Miller.
Makes you finna wanna cry.
So, quick synopsis. Simon Spear is a closeted gay boy starting out his senior year of... I wrote gay boy, and then I just... gay boy.
Closeted gay boy. Wow.
Hot boy.
Stop.
Anyway, starting out his senior year of high school, he has 3 close best friends and a loving family, but none of them know that he's gay, and it's kind of eating him up inside a little bit.
Even though he knows that they would probably be like 100% on board, he's still...
He just doesn't want his life to be that... have a huge change. He has a
really great scene where he says in high school he just wants to stay the same, but in college he'll totally be as gay as he can be, and there's a great dance number, and then he decides that was too much. It's to I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney. His life changes when he sees an anonymous post by someone else at his school on a school forum saying that this person, Blue, nicknamed Blue, is also in the closet. So Simon starts a secret correspondence with the student while also trying to figure out just who he's talking to. Simultaneously, he starts to fall in love.
Oh yeah, simultaneously he's being blackmailed by another kid in his school who finds out that Simon's gay and is threatening to out him
because he wants his help
dating one of Simon's friends. Yeah,
he realizes the error of his ways, but like not soon enough.
Yeah. So why this is on the list? So Nick Robinson, specifically, who plays Simon, does a fantastic job leading this movie and is supported by a well put together cast.
Yeah.
So I also mention here, if you're not a member of, even if you're not a member of the LGBTQ plus community, Simon and his problems are universally identifiable, and you'll want what's best for him throughout.
It's a teen movie that every teen should watch in high school and that we should have had.
Yeah, even the film's antagonist, if you can call him that, is fleshed out and not completely irredeemable. Like, you can see kind of where he's coming from. You can't excuse it, but you can see his motivations. There are 2 douchebags, though. Yeah, they're
minor characters, but those are the ones that you're actually like, wow. But it's like the one who's supposed to be like bad when you're like, fuck, man.
Yeah. So the writing is funny, memorable, and actually relatable, which is tough. It doesn't sound like adults writing for modern teens, which usually comes off as just god-awful.
The parents actually act like actual real-life parents instead of just like, hey, kid. How's your day?
Like Game Night, it also functions as a pretty good mystery film as well. Like you're trying to figure out who Blue is along with Simon. You're like following his clues, and you feel bad if he's wrong. But also, in my opinion, it has one of the best uses of a PG-13 movie's single fuck allowed in a movie. They use it very effectively. He's like freaking out at somebody. I won't go into details because I don't want to spoil anything. It's also shot really nicely. Nothing too crazy, but it is done well enough to notice, specifically kind of the parallelism that they use throughout the movies and recreating shots to kind of show what has changed about the characters over time, specifically involving coffee cups, which is weird, but that it's beautiful. Looks cool. So at its core, this movie has a lot of heart and is an incredibly emotional experience, and which I believe is what films are supposed to be overall, emotional experiences.
Yeah. If you like Australian TV and also the show The Flash, it has Keenan Lonsdale in it, and he's a beautiful person.
Yes.
So he's from Dance Academy, guys.
Is he Australian, or did he just... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's from Australia.
And then his first big role here was on The Flash as Wally West.
The Flash. Well, that makes sense why he's in this movie, because it's directed by Greg Berlanti, who is like the head of all of the CW
Catherine
shows.
Langford, wait, where's she from? She's not from here.
She's from England.
It is.
Is she? She might be Australian too. Maybe Greg Berlanti's Australian.
She is from... Yeah, she's Australian. I knew she was. Yeah, so...
Oi, Coba.
It's random, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a great treat for me to see him in it.
Yeah, Greg Berlanti is like... He's the god of the CW DC movie shows and stuff.
Oh,
he's like the showrunner on all of them now because that one dude got fired. So Greg Berlanti kind of took over, but he was already really involved.
Yeah.
Number 5, released April 6th, 2018. You saw it in theaters, but I didn't. I saw it when it came out.
Who did I see it in
4K
theaters
Blu-ray.
with?
You saw it with your mom and she wouldn't stop talking.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, A Quiet Place.
Yeah, baby.
Well, she literally, the entire time, like we had been talking about maybe going to see it, leading up to it, she keeps telling me people are so quiet that they don't even want to eat their popcorn. It's like they don't want to make any noise. And we're there with my sisters. And I sat specifically on the end so that I would only be next to one person that I knew. So if someone had to talk to me, they would...
There's less of a chance.
Yet she kept leading to me, and I was like, there's another child of yours on the other side. She's willing to talk to you right now. Like, stop talking to me. Mom, you're great. I don't know if you listened, but you're great. But still, good Lord. It's a quiet movie.
So this movie was directed by John Krasinski, written by Brian Wood, Scott Beck, and John Krasinski himself. Oh, wow. It stars John Krasinski
and his wife,
Emily Blunt, Millicent.
He made audition for it.
Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe. So it's probably the shortest synopsis because it's a pretty simple synopsis, but
small cast.
Yeah. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt play Lee and Evelyn Abbott, two parents trying to survive.
I actually never knew any of their names in it. I realize now.
Yeah. Trying to survive and keep their family safe in a post-apocalyptic world overrun
mom, dad, children
by super fast blind monsters that are very sensitive to sound. Mm-hmm. So why this is on the list, as I just said, it's a very simple idea, but it's executed extremely well. This still works very well as a well-written I'll say one more time. Well-written story.
Well-written story.
With interesting characters, despite detracting the actors of characterization through spoken dialogue. The film communicates through awesome camera work, set pieces, and ASL, primarily, and subtitles for those who don't speak American Sign Language. Mm-hmm. This endears the characters to the viewer very well, resulting in a surprisingly emotional film, as well as scary
Surprisingly? Oh my god, I was prepared to be emotional.
Scary and action-packed and kind of funny at parts.
And yes, jump scares, but in the done
way.
Well, not just a jump scare to jump scare.
They felt earned because the whole movie is very tense.
Oh my god,
there's a lot of build-up. I didn't write it down here, but I also really, really liked the character design or creature design on the monsters.
And the child actors, they were very talented.
Yeah.
Especially with not speaking, it's they did great.
Definitely.
Apparently, on set, they still signed the entire time so that everyone would kind of stay
in the moment.
On their...
Well, one of them is deaf, so
I know.
They would need to.
She's yeah. But I'm saying, even if, Shig wasn't around, because they were, keep doing it.
Yeah, but as I was saying, with the character design, you can really see, or creature design, you can see the inspiration from, real-world animals in them, like bats and snakes and animals that primarily use their auditory over visual, even dogs and stuff.
And normally it would bother me that you don't know exactly how they got there, but you would see a random newspaper clipping on his board.
It was enough,
so
yeah.
it was that's how. Okay,
I mean, The Walking Dead is on season 9, and they still haven't explained how exactly that
zombies,
happened.
It's just there's always patient zero, whatever, and you never know exactly. So I don't expect anything from zombies. I mean, especially with Shaun of the Dead, with all the jokes that they kind of have from the newscasts. Where it's they give every possible situation.
They use reasons from other movies that have caused rage monkeys, a satellite falling, which is what caused the zombies in the original Night of the Living Dead.
So I'm saying I don't if I don't know where the monster or whatever originated from, but I'm used to it with zombies, but with this normally it's you at least find out they came from deep.
Yeah, I can't remember. I feel there was some sort of
They were like
extra story or something.
Yeah, but
that explained it was either like mining or they came from space. I can't remember which one it is. But
still, it's kind of like I didn't mind not knowing exactly.
Yeah. It also tackles big themes
and the sand thing. They lived near a beach, so that's where the sand came from.
Oh, cool.
Did you not notice that they were on like a beach frequently?
I guess.
The little girl was, yeah. That's the one thing that you kept saying when we watched. You're like, where's the sand coming from? And I was like, he's collecting it from the beach.
Anyway, this tackles big themes like parenthood and survival very effectively. I mean, we both know about parenthood. We've lived through it on the receiving side.
Oh.
It's also genuinely tense and horrifying, and the absence of a lot of noise makes for a very unique viewing experience.
Especially some scenes where it's like, no, you gotta scream, girl, do it. But no. Oh, my foot hurts.
Are you okay?
In the one scene.
Oh, when someone steps on the nail.
Oh, that was... Like, my entire theater was just like, oh, when she steps on a nail. It was so tense, like, waiting for it to happen. Because you saw, like, when the nail got pulled up, so it was just like, oh, God, it's coming back.
Chekhov's nail.
Yeah. It was coming back, and it
is important to note that every movie on this list is post 9/11.
Fucking hell, Daniel.
Post 9/11 world.
Go on.
Number 4, released July 13th, 2018.
Which one was in July?
A lot of movies come out in July.
Which one?
Directed by and written by the same person who was very tall and very funny.
Do I know this person?
In real life?
No.
No.
Like, would I be familiar with this person? How tall are we talking?
Very tall. Like 6'5" or something crazy.
It's a man?
Yes. Comedian.
Is he American?
Yes. 20 questions.
Hold on.
He cannot fit in a bread box.
Bo Burnham, 8th grade.
Yes, so...
A bread box?
That's like a classic question for 20 questions. Does it fit in a bread box?
Oh, I thought you were trying to reference his hands too big for a Pringle can.
Oh, no.
So that's why I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
This movie stars Elsie Fisher, Josh Hamilton, Emily Robinson, and Jake Ryan. Quick synopsis. So Kayla Day, played by Elsie Fisher.
Jake Ryan?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
He plays like the awkward kid.
Jake Ryan, you're in 16 Candles. Get the fuck out of here.
Kayla Day, he follows me on fucking Twitter, on Instagram.
This child does?
Yeah. Or something like that. He followed or liked a picture, like commented on a picture.
Okay,
fine.
Let's move on.
Anyway, Kayla Day is an awkward, anxious outsider in her final week of 8th grade. We get to see the struggles of a modern-day middle schooler transitioning into high school while dealing with a social world that's shaped almost entirely by the importance of social media presence. So she makes videos for YouTube that barely get any views, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I also forgot to mention, going back to fucking Halloween, it was nice to see some podcasters, just get their comeuppance. We've had it easy for too long.
Oh my God. Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Shifting back to 8th grade. So this, I'm huge, you and I are both huge fans of Bo Burnham's work.
Yes.
And he knocks it out of the park with his
birthday
first...
present was going to see him.
Yeah, his Make Happy tour was honestly...
emotional.
Yeah, I thought we were going to leave and be like, haha, yeah, it was so fun. And then we both left and we were like,
oh my God.
Existential dread, awesome. With his first feature length and writing and direction gig. He's awesome with this. So as someone who wrote a whole research paper on depression and comedy related to Bo Burnham in college, I could see that a lot of the issues he's dealt with in his life seeping into the film's production for a great effect. Elsie Fisher's performance is hilarious, relatable, and most importantly, very authentic. She was just nominated for a Golden Globe for this performance.
Really cute.
Very well earned. Specifically, there's a scene involving a banana that I found very funny. So when paired with Bo Burnham's writing and direction, the two become an unstoppable powerhouse duo. So you want her to get everything that she wants, but stay as innocent as she really is. You want her to be successful on YouTube and all that stuff, but also...
She's just so cute.
I didn't know this, but when writing this movie and even directing it, Bo Burnham would watch YouTube videos of like kids her age and write down like phonetically what they were saying to like get it right for when he was writing it. So what he would do is he would go to YouTube and he'd put in like tips for being popular in middle school, but he would filter it instead of it being like most popular. It was like most recent. So it would be like, a kid with like 12 views talking for 10 minutes about how to be popular in middle school. And that's what he used. And he would go back and forth between these and use that as inspiration. What?
I want them to have more views.
Just go on and hit F5. When I saw him writing about that, talking about it when he was interviewed about the movie, I went and did the same thing. And I was like, damn, he is right. There's like people on here with like hundreds of videos and like 3 subscribers.
Aww. That makes me really sad.
Hashtag we can't relate, can we? Yikes.
Stop.
Anyway, go and support these kids. They're innocent and they should be protected, and subscribe to PewDiePie, I guess. So,
what the fuck?
It's also probably one of the most genuinely accurate portrayals of the current school experience, even though I only caught the tail end of like the serious importance of social media in high school. And definitely didn't have it in middle school myself.
And then my high school, Snapchat was during my senior year, I think.
Snapchat started when I was in 10th grade.
Yeah, I was a senior, so it wasn't really like... It was kind of like, sure, I'll get...
Same with Vine.
I was going to say, and Vine. I remember getting Vine, and it was just kind of like, okay, what now?
But people had Facebooks when I was in middle school, but nobody really cared about what was on them.
Nobody.
I've kept all my old pictures up, but I go back and I cringe at how bad the stuff I was putting up. But now kids
yours
in
was
middle
really
school,
embarrassing. Mine not so much.
Now kids in middle school are they care so much about their Instagram followers and their likes and
nobody really cares about their Facebook friends though.
Composing the best pictures for Instagram and it's just so sad. Whoa, what is this? An episode of Black Mirror? But yeah, it's really accurate. It's not very saccharine about it. It doesn't
cringe,
pull its
but
punches.
in the best ways that and it's you're supposed to be kind of cringing
because everybody can relate to it. Even if you didn't have social media, I've read stories of people's
there's
parents.
Pool party and you're just oh shit.
Yeah, or she has a panic attack in the bathroom before going out because
and calls her dad to pick her up.
Yeah.
Mom, kids are tricky. I need you to come get me. Also in Love, Simon. He does that. But yeah, it just
So this movie handles the themes of anxiety and the modern importance of social media expertly, almost as if the movie was made by someone who has a ton of experience with both of those things. Wow.
I'm growing up with a single parent who doesn't get you. And just parents in general who don't get you.
Parents just don't understand.
And then making friends with someone older than you, but still being ha.
Oh yeah, I related to that hardcore because I was in basically the same position as she was. But also there's some nice symbolism and everything throughout the movie. A fun fact, because early in the movie she cracks her iPhone case and then every time she goes to swipe it, it cuts her. So it kind of is symbolic of the harmful effects of relying on social media and technology. But originally, Apple were going to provide all of the products the computers, the phones for free for the movie. But then when they read that the screen cracks after being dropped, they said no thanks. And so they had to buy all of the stuff.
It would just be one phone though.
No, it's more that they would be portraying the fact that their products break easily, which they do. So that was my number 4, 8th grade. It's fantastic. I really want to rewatch it now. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And number 3, this one came out very recently, so I think you'll be able to get it. December 14th, 2018. It's directed by 3 people and just won a Golden Globe yesterday. We're recording this on Monday.
Last few months have just mushed into one. Did we go see it?
Yes.
I
saw
did.
it the day it came out. We had tickets to go see it, yeah. We saw it with a buddy of ours who appeared on this show.
Which buddy?
The memes.
Me?
The memer.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, directed by
fucking fun.
Bob Persichetti. Peter Ramsey and Rodney Rothman, and it was written by Phil Lord and Rodney Rothman. I knew who Phil Lord was. I forgot who Rodney Rothman was. He was the guy who helmed all of the Rise of the Guardians movie, which I think is one of the most underrated animated movies ever. And of course, Phil Lord is one half of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys behind 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie. And originally they were directing and writing Solo, a Star Wars story. Anywho, quick synopsis. Miles Morales was a normal kid who idolized Spider-Man despite his police officer father's constant disavowalment of the masked vigilante. This all changes when Miles is bitten by a radioactive spider and suddenly comes face to face. I can't speak. It always happens every episode with 5 other spider people from across the multiverse, along with a possibly world's ending event. It is a Grace first outing to try out being Spider-Man for the first time. Just going straight into the deep end for Miles. Why this is on the list. It's probably the best Spider-Man movie ever made, but I'm still trying to decide if it's better than Spider-Man 2 and Homecoming, which I think are the 2 current best ever made.
Spider-Man 2, really?
Yeah, that one's really good.
Huh.
With Tugboat Maguire.
What?
That's Toby Tugboat Maguire.
Why do you call him that?
Because he insists on being called Tugboat. Have you not seen the Clickhole article about 5 times he viciously attacked people for not referring to him as Tugboat Maguire?
What about the second one makes you like it so much?
I think that it's just on point. It's not an origin story. The cinematography is really good. The color palette's great. The villain is really well written.
I don't even remember
Dr. Octopus.
Thanks.
Has the train scene. Has some of his best faces.
The poop faces.
It has the scream.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, that was good.
We can go back.
Either way, the film's writers clearly and directors show that they have an expert understanding of the character of Spider-Man and what makes him or her so great or amazing or spectacular or ultimate.
No, I was going to mess with him or her. I was going to say or...
Pig. Who's still a him. So there are tons of fantastic villains, many of whom I've wanted to see on the big screen, like Scorpion, even some that work as great reimaginings, though I won't spoil them.
Yeah. Voiced Catherine Hahn is a voice in it.
Yeah.
John Mulaney.
Oh, shit. I totally forgot to write the cast for this one.
Okay, let's go.
It has Haley Steinfeld, John Mulaney, Nick Cage, I can't remember the 2 big characters.
It's also a Nick.
Big actors. Has Mahershala Ali, who plays Aaron Davis.
Jake Johnson,
and Shamik Moore plays Miles Morales. All of them are really, really good.
Is Aunt May in this one? Mm-hmm. A random Chris Pine and Zoe Kravitz. That's who. I remember at the end, I kept wondering who was voicing Mary Jane, and then when I saw Zoe Kravitz's name, I was like, who'd she voice? Then I was like, oh, Mary Jane. I was like, and also one
of Stan Lee's final performances, so it's kind of sad.
Oh yeah, when he showed up, I literally was like, oh.
It was a great tribute to him and Steve Ditko at the end. It's so good. There are Easter eggs and references galore for hardcore and even casual Spider fans alike. What's that face? Why are you giving me that face?
Because you're the hardcore and I'm the casual, so I was trying to think of what references.
Yeah, I mean, there's little stuff, there's references to other movies visually.
Also, you said Nick Cage. You have to say Nicolas Cage. Nick Cage just sounds like a random actor or whatever, you know?
Ace of Spades, Nick Cage.
Yeah, but anyway, Nick Cage, you gotta say Nicholas, otherwise, or Nicky Cage. Okay. Nicky boy.
Even though we never got a Spider-Man 4 with Tugboat in it, this sort of feels like a conclusion to that series, given the similarities between Tugboat Maguire's Spider-Man and the 2 Peter Parkers that are seen in this movie. They're
technically you see 3, but only flashbacks. 2 are voiced and shown. Because you see one in a different flashback.
The cast is fantastic, and the 3 main Spider characters have amazing chemistry with one another. Also, John Mulaney as Spider-Ham, Mahershala Ali as Aaron Davis and Liev Schreiber as the absolute unit Kingpin are brilliant as well.
He was so big. And was that like a normal thing to just be that large? I was really confused. He was just so casually large that like I was like, is this normal in this universe? For like nobody else was like weirdly shaped and shit like that. And I kept going.
He's the absolute unit.
No, I kept asking. I was like, why is he so big? And Tim was like, because he's Kingpin. And I was like, that doesn't mean anything to me.
He's always huge.
But why?
I like that interpretation of him as like kind of like a New Jersey crime boss instead of like the sophisticated.
Is he supposed to be?
Well, I mean, he's usually portrayed as like
the villain just now in
Daredevil. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That's Kingpin.
Well, why
and also he's the villain in Spider-Man the PS4 game.
Why wasn't he that large in
Because he couldn't be because Daredevil was grounded in hardcore reality.
Why was he in this?
There was a pig that talked in this movie.
He was from a different universe.
Anyway.
And also, who was his roommate? Like
Gonki Lee.
Yeah. But was he like in the comics at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's Miles' best friend from the comics.
Yeah, but it was like cute how at the end he was like, by the way, hi.
Spoilers.
Oh my.
Jess.
Whatever. It's one little teeny tidbit.
The animation style is nothing short of beautiful and truly groundbreaking. It's probably my favorite looking animated film that I've ever seen. It's also important to note that it blends multiple animation styles amazingly. Yeah. Like Spider-Ham is like a classically hand-drawn cartoon.
The teeny little spider girl and even with her robot.
Yeah, the anime girl, Penny Parker.
The Noir.
Spider-Man Noir. Yeah, they all looked interesting and
like
individual.
Even though Spider-Gwen and Miles' like universe were very similar, even
even
like, flashbacks, it was still like color-wise and like slightly like, different drawing techniques.
This plot has a lot to cover and never feels overstuffed or like it's rushing anything. And honestly, I think this movie kind of puts Justice League to shame. I know it's easy to take pot shots at Justice League, but that movie couldn't introduce like 3 characters, and this introduces 6 amazingly, and each of them is distinct. We get all of their backstories done very well.
A pig's, which doesn't have much of a backstory.
Yet this was a better Justice League movie than Justice League. And the soundtrack is unique and well put together as well. And also everyone turns into
Jake Johnson's Peter Parker with like the fact that Miles just like grows on you more and more throughout the movie, and by the end you're like, I love you. I just want to hold you. I'm not leaving you.
There's like for the kids, there's Gwen and Miles to really identify with, but for us older people, there's Peter B. Parker who sits in a Spider-Man outfit in the shower and eats pizza while crying.
Yeah. Which is like the way that he's like, I'm not gonna like this kid. All right, I like the kid. I love him. He's like Rosa with the puppy. I've known this puppy for 48 hours, and if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone and then myself. That's how he is by the end of the movie.
And I'm just really excited to see what doors this opens if this movie does well. Yeah. I really hope that. I mean, it won but like
last night, which
fiscally.
Cool. I know, but I'm saying that's just like awesome. It will make more people like go out and.
I really hope they don't get the wrong message.
It's not, even though it's an animation, it's not just for kids.
No, I'm saying because Venom has done better in terms of earning money, much better. I really hope that they don't abandon this kind of style in favor of what Venom was, because Venom was terrible. But also, I'm just really excited to see what they can do and maybe go a little bit more outlandish and maybe even bring in some of the live action stuff. Maybe tie it with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They said that
they were going to have even more like spider people coming from different universes, but it got to like the point where it was like, all right, we can't keep introducing more.
But they could definitely have that for a sequel.
They could add them in.
Because I've wanted to see a Spider-Verse movie basically since I read that comic series. I think
I really liked Spider-Gwen ever since you first like told me about her whenever ago.
I think there's also like Gwenpool and stuff nowadays. Oh. Which is,
Would they ever bring Deadpool into a
Spider-Man movie?
As an animation, not like Ryan Reynolds?
I think he'd be a good animation character.
He would have to be from another like universe.
Yeah.
Peter B. Parker's universe.
This movie was just so good, and I've wanted to see a Spider-Verse movie, as I said, for a while. And I think that'd be a really good way to wrap up the Amazing Spider-Man and Tugboats series, because you could just have both of them return. And finish their stories on camera finally, because both of them were kind of canceled
I did like
abruptly.
both of them, and I understand why both were like ended. You know,
Yeah.
I could see for Tugboat. I could see after the third one, it was very clear.
Oh, well, actually, that movie, the fourth one was in development up until 2011, and then it was canceled because of like funding issues.
And then with Andrew Garfield's, I can also see it just wasn't as big of a.
Good.
The first one I thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah. Second one, while like I did like it, but it was
overstuffed.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do way too much, and it's also,
and I said in like Spider-Man 3, there were too many villains, at least to me.
And that was just 2.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could maybe count the Green Goblin, kind of. The new Goblin.
Harry. It's how many years old? I'm allowed to spoil that. Harry, so like he was like kind of a villain.
There's literally like a different.
It was like
there's a different villain for each act of the movie.
Yeah, so
there's the new Goblin in the first act, Sandman in the second act, and then Venom in the third act. It kind of made you not care as much whenever he was fighting each of them, because you were like, all right, well, I barely care. Like who there? And also, usually he has some sort of close tie with his villains. That's kind of what makes Spider-Man so interesting. But that was kind of lost with Sandman and Venom.
And also Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I mean, because they just had the
I like Jamie Foxx in it. It was a cool villain.
But yeah, then there's that one scene where the guy just walks by all the villain costumes. It's like, oh, okay, so I guess he's not going to have... Because that's another element of Spider-Man that's interesting, kind of like Batman, is, well, are these villains his fault? That's a good question to ask, but if they're all in a basement, then it's a pretty clear absolving of Spider-Man. Anyway, we've talked about this for a while.
What's number 2?
On to number 2. Number twosies. July 27th, I know what number 1 is, but 2018. July. You already mentioned this one.
I did? Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. Can I get a... How far back did I mention it?
When I was talking about Creed 2, you mentioned this movie series.
It's a series?
Yes. It's the 6th in the series.
It's a mission.
Mission, yes.
Impossible.
Yes.
Fallout?
Yes.
I thought I was just saying a video game accidentally.
Written and directed by Christopher McQuarrie, starring...
Fallout's a video game, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew I was right.
Starring Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson.
You know what? No, fuck this movie. Now that you said Henry Cavill, fuck this movie.
No, this movie is so much better than Justice League was ever going to be.
Because of the mustache.
That's what I was saying. That mustache made Justice League better.
Yeah.
Sean Harris, Angela Bassett.
Superman with a mustache. That would have been awesome.
And Alec Baldwin. Plus, that would have made way more sense because he gets brought back to life. And your hair grows when you're dead.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. That scares me now. I'm finally going to have the length of hair I want when I die.
So he should have had a beard. It would have made sense for him to have a beard and long hair.
Maybe he's an alien.
That's why in the comic books, when he comes back, he has a mullet and a beard.
Oh, honey. Why a mullet for Shouldn't Superman. His hair have completely grown?
Well, it was the 90s.
I don't care. Get the fuck out of here, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Fucker. So this is set 2 years after Rogue Nation, the previous film. Ethan Hunt is back. I saw
the last 2 minutes of that one, didn't I?
Yeah. Ethan Hunt is back, baby. A terrorist group called the Apostles have obtained 3 nuclear devices, and it's up to Ethan and his team, made up of Luther Stickle, Benji Dunn, Ilsa Faust, and August Walker, played by Henry Cavill, sporting a very controversial mustache, to get them back before catastrophe strikes.
Is Henry Cavill in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yes.
Just checking.
I wasn't sure if it was
him. Armie Hammer.
Yes. And Felicity Jones.
The girl from Ex Machina and Tomb Raider.
Alicia Vikander.
That's her.
Yes. This is easily one of the best, if not the best, action movie that I've seen.
Actually, by the way.
In a while. Definitely since Mad Max Fury Road. But... maybe even better than Mad Max Fury Road. It's just so visceral. It's definitely one of the best action spy movies ever made. Yes.
Okay.
This is in part due to...
That was a good action movie for Legos.
Yeah. This is in part due to McQuarrie's direction, the camera work, and Cruise's death-defying insistence on doing practically every stunt himself. in a practical way, Ayo, this results in an outlandish spy genre film that is surprisingly grounded in visceral reality. Like, they were flying real-ass helicopters, like 5 feet off the ground. He broke his ankle jumping from rooftop to rooftop. He does an actual halo jump, which are very dangerous. High altitude, low open.
I have a question. How is Tom Cruise not dead?
Exactly. I think he's going to actually die on camera.
And then they're going to be like, well, they made him do the stunts. And it's like, no, he wanted to do that shit. So he, like, insists on doing them, doesn't he? When he had to, like, hang on to, like, a plane on, like, the side?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's one of the producers, so no one can stop him.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's high altitude, low opening. We need to
start being more concerned about Tom Cruise. I think he needs help. That means a cry for help.
He jumped off practically, like, at the highest that a plane can go, but opened the chute, like, at the last second. That's a halo jump. And he actually did it. And Henry Cavill was like, oh, I want to do it too. And Tom Cruise was like, no. But
this is my thing, Henry Cavill.
He's like, I don't want to have to pay WB a ton of money. But it really shows in the movie. It just comes off as... It looks fantastic on screen. And a lot of the fight scenes are great. There's this one part where Henry Cavill, like, reloads his arms. It's in the trailer.
That's in the trailer. I was always... but, like, the thing is, in the trailer, like, the music that they're using is just, like, boom, boom. And I was always like, are his arms making that noise?
He's cocking his arms. And apparently that wasn't something he was told to do. He just kind of, like, did it on the day. And they're like, it's fucking badass.
Fuck yeah. And, like, it looks really good. And he's wearing, like, just, like, a regular, like, button-up shirt. But you're still like,
he's Henry Cavill, so he has the best hairy chest in Hollywood. You can't say otherwise.
Okay.
Find me a better one. Austin
Hugh
Powers.
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman waxes a lot. I don't think Henry Cavill has, like, done that. So... Us hairy chest guys got to stick together, Jess.
He stands really weird in Justice League.
He does have a duck butt briefly, but for the rest of the movie. Remember that part in Justice League when he makes the whole rest of the Justice League completely pointless? When he just shows up and beats the shit out of Steppenwolf. And he's like...
But also kicks all of their ass when he first comes back?
Yeah, and he's like...
The only one who, like, he didn't completely destroy was Wonder Woman because she was just like, you know what? Fuck it.
He's like, I like truth, but I'm also a fan of justice. And then punches him, and it's like, oh, God, kill me now. I hate that movie so much. I should probably rewatch it. Maybe that and Suicide Squad.
I'm okay.
And then
I'm so okay.
Then I'll Suicide Squad myself after.
They'll just pull a Tom Cruise.
Yeah. But that dude's unstoppable. Seriously.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, the story and
Henry Cavill still.
The story and the characters are also well written and acted. Everyone is on their
I've never seen any of them,
game.
Have I? No, I haven't. Except for, as I said, the last few minutes of
Simon Pegg,
the one
killing it. Alec Baldwin, killing
There's
it.
another
Angela
person
Bassett, killing it.
In the
Ving
not this
Rhames.
one, the one before. Was Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, Jeremy Renner. He was supposed to be in this one, but he was filming.
So I remember me and your mom, we finished the first Jurassic World, and then we were like, oh, Dan's still in his theater. Let's go pop in there. And we saw like the last 5 minutes. And I just remember going, it's Jeremy Renner.
I think he's probably going to be in the next one because...
I wasn't sure because I was like, wait, no, because he's in like the Bourne movies. So was I mistaking?
He was in one Bourne movie.
But was I like mistaking?
No, yeah, he was in 4 and 5.
Okay.
So.
He's a good guy?
Yep.
Good.
Oh, sorry.
That's some good
shit. My phone just buzzed. This is just a flat out enjoyable time. Even if you haven't seen a Mission Impossible movie before, I guarantee...
That's the girl from The Greatest Showman in it, right?
Yeah. I guarantee that you will have a great time watching this movie. Her name is Rebecca Ferguson, and she is
I'm trying to think of
goddess.
her name in The Greatest Showman.
Her name is Never
Enough. Never.
Lorne Balfe's score is also invigorating and well put together.
I don't like that.
What? It's invigorating. It gets you fluffed. Gets you pumped. All right. Number 1. Was it ever going to be anything else? Then, Jess, do you want to just say it?
I would love to. It's Night at the Museum 2. Battle of the Smithsonian.
They said Battle of the Smithsonian? I thought it was Battle for the Museum of England or something.
Battle of the Smithsonian.
Whatever.
England is the third one.
It's Avengers Infinity War,
my city.
motherfucker.
Yeah, no, we saw it twice in 24 hours.
Yes, and I don't regret it. It was released April 27th, 2019. Oh, shit. 2018.
Yeah, the reaction...
we'll get to that. We'll get
also,
to that,
just
Jess.
being in there with so many people and getting to hear the reactions were great. Go ahead.
It was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely.
All right.
Stars.
Name the cast. Go.
Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Don Cheadle, Tom Holland, Chadwick Boseman, Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Denai Guerrera, Letitia Wright, Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, Palm Clementif, Karen Gillan, and Josh Brolin.
Are we missing anyone?
Winston Duke. He plays M'Baku.
Yes. Love.
And probably whoever played
Thiku.
Thanos' other children, but I don't remember of them.
I don't like that they're called his children because they're not his...
He kidnapped them.
No.
Is there anybody that we forgot?
Honestly,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
I was just making sure that you got like all the... What?
Gwyneth Paltrow and Benedict Wong.
I was kind of going by when you said a Chris.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, got the 3 Chris's, and it's been like quite a few names, so I'm like assuming.
So, synopsis.
You got each of like the teams that were together?
Yep.
Did you say Idris Elba?
No. And I didn't say Tom Hiddleston, sorry.
Wow.
But it's crazy when the movie, like, and then I forget Idris Elba and Tom Hiddleston and Gwyneth Paltrow and Benedict Wong. Like, they're not, like, the top build. That's just crazy for me.
Hold on. Did you say...
Jacob Batalon.
Who?
He plays Ned.
Oh, yeah, I was literally going to go...
He was in, like, 30 seconds of the movie.
I was literally getting ready to say, who played Ned? Because I didn't know his name. Did you get the bus driver?
Steve Stanley.
I was say Steve Lee.
I was going to say Steve Ditko, sorry.
Hold on, I feel like there's... Obadiah Stane. Okay,
I wish.
I think you got it.
Ross Marquand.
Fuck yeah, that was a nice treat.
Okay, so Thanos has finally decided to take matters in his own hands and retrieve the Infinity Stones from across the galaxy in order to enact his plan.
Wasn't in it. Sorry, from the second.
To enact his plan to wipe out half the life in the universe, and it's up to the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy to stop him from doing just that. Almost every MCU hero,
as the non-Avengers, they were like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Come help us."
Is here to fight for the universe. This movie is an insane achievement. It is the 20th film in a continuous series spanning 10 years and manages to also be not terrible. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can only think of one other series that has that many movies, and that's James Bond, and a lot of them are hit or miss. I guess they'll never miss. And also they're not continuous story. Yeah.
This is like they got everyone back.
The visual effects are stunning.
Ed Norton, are you quaking now?
The cast are all amazing, and even though there's so many of them, everyone has something to do or has like a standout moment of badassness. The writing and direction are top notch. Thanos is a 3-dimensional yet terrifying villain, and also the source of many a great meme this year. I liked the one that was, let me guess, Your Home. It was, and it was beautiful. That was a good one. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Reality is often disappointing.
Gone for the head.
You should have gone for the head. All the memes.
Everyone kept saying that if Yondu were there, then he would have fixed that issue.
The music is the best it's been in the entire MCU. It even seems as though they've improved the color palette of the movie. So those are like the 3 biggest criticisms people have about the Marvel Cinematic Universe are the villains, the music, and the color palette. And in this movie,
what's wrong with the color palettes?
They're really muted in a lot of the other movies. If you go back,
Thor: The Dark World.
It has to do with the fact that they don't have any actual black. They'll have like really dark grays, but no black. So that makes other colors pale in comparison because they can't pop against it.
Yeah. You need
so it comes out as dull. They fix that with a lot with
that's why they
Doctor
say
Strange.
In rooms, it isn't a bad thing to have a black wall in a room because it actually makes the rest of the room stand out more and makes the room larger. Do it in the movies, kids. Bobby Burke will tell you.
I won't spoil it, but also its ending is truly jarring and quite simply unforgettable.
And also when you find out some of the ad-lib shit.
Everything about this movie just clicks. It just works. I can't really think of many improvements for it.
I can think of like one.
And as Jess mentioned, seeing this movie in a packed theater was one of the best experiences I've ever had at the movies. It was just so
Normally, I don't love hearing the audience during the movie, but I was fine.
Especially because we'd seen it the night before in a kind of a smaller, not as packed theater, and then we saw it in a fully
there was a woman
sold out
2 seats down from me, and she almost fell out of her fucking chair at one point. Yeah. And I was like, I get you. Like, I wasn't judging. I was like, I understand you. I understood. I was there for her.
And that fucking Thor scene still rock hard every time I see it. Yeah. When he does that.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I need to change my pants after thinking about it. I'm not going to lie. Avengers Endgame has crazy expectations for me. I have crazy...
The reunions.
Yeah. I have crazy expectations for it, and it's still probably going to be my top choice for 2019 because I can't see how they could...
I did have 2 things that I would have liked to have seen.
I know. I said it had almost every hero in the MCU in it. Almost. Except for Ant-Man and Hawkeye.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I love Hawkeye so fucking much. And it hurt me. And I know that, he looks like he looks fabulous in the trailer for the new.
Mm-hmm. As Ronan, probably.
But like, it still, I'm salty. And I understand why he wasn't in it. I understand. Okay? I fucking understand.
Are you excited for Captain Marvel?
Yes. Also...
I'm more excited to find out how Nick Fury lost his eye than seeing Captain Marvel.
To find out.
Just because the trailers
I'm excited to see when she beats the shit out of the old lady who's actually not an old lady.
I think she plays the old lady as well. If you look at the trailer for Captain Marvel.
Allison.
Yeah. Not Allison Brie. Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, thank you.
It looks like it's just Brie Larson in prosthetics.
Oh.
So take a look at it. You can kind of tell with the eyes. It might be her. It might be like a relative or like her mom or something in prosthetics, but it looks like her.
What I liked about also Infinity War is like there are like a few lines that they confirmed. Like they were just kind of like, all right, like try to do like this during the scene, and they did. Like specifically, it was in like the trailer, I believe, when Thor and Captain America are like, oh, like, nice haircut. And he's like, I see you've caught my beard. They said, act like you're just kind of like 2 friends that like haven't seen each other in a while and like do like that. And it was like, yeah, you'd comment on your friend's haircut. You'd comment on this.
Yeah.
And it was like nice because they played it so casually.
But also because even though they had trailers that seemingly showed a lot, they took a lot and changed a lot in the trailers so that it would be fresh. Like they also like took Infinity Stones out of his gauntlet in different scenes, so you couldn't really tell at what point in the story it was going to be or how if he's going to succeed and stuff. It was just really good.
Some of the reunions were very nice. The new team ups, like I was like, yes.
I was so excited
to see
that I would like the Winter Soldier meet Rocket Raccoon, and I was happy.
And then also like Thor with like fucking Groot and Rocket. I was like, this is a team up that I never like knew that I would enjoy, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A random Peter Dinklage, who apparently who apparently people knew he was going to be in it, but did I?
I knew he was going to be in it. I thought he was going to be someone else.
In X-Men, I was like, well, he's already been in like technically Marvel.
Michael B. Jordan was in Fant Four Stick.
We don't talk about that movie because I've only seen it once and I did not like it.
I still haven't seen it.
But yeah, it was just really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, it made you emotional. Even if you're not like an emotional person. I'm not saying that I'm not, but it can make...
Why the fuck was Miles Teller Mr. Fantastic? That doesn't make any sense. He's more of a Human Torch.
I like him so much because of Footloose. But I agree. We're not talking about that.
Anyway, this movie was great. All these movies are great. 2018 was a surprisingly good year for movies, but also it had a lot of disappointments that I'll never get over. No, I will. I'm already over it. Except for The Predator. That was really bad.
I didn't care about The Predator because I didn't care about the others.
I mean, I avoided a lot of like the worst movies.
And it had Theon Greyjoy.
True. Like if you look at the worst movies list, I just didn't see them. Even Vice has popped up on some of them. Some people say it's kind of like pandering and transparent at just trying to be a Oscar contender biopic.
If you guys want to see something that has Chris Hemsworth where he's like actually not playing like a good, funny, a good guy, like opposite of what he usually plays, Dan had it on his honorable mention. Bad Times at the El Royale was like, it was bomb.
Yeah. Oh, I probably would have
so well.
Put that on my list.
Just watched it.
Yeah, but we just watched it. I didn't want to. I didn't know if it was just because it was clouding my judgment.
But it was so good. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him like in like a role like that. So it was very interesting. What were some of your favorite movies of the year? Unless you want to do a list yourself. No, I think you got a lot of them, and I can't really like remember what came out which year. So I'd have to like actually. Mamma Mia, except I didn't get to see it in theaters. Halloween. Did you like Halloween a lot? Yeah, but I know you like Crazy Rich Asians and yes, Mamma Mia. I still want to see A Simple Favor with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick, and it also had the guy from Crazy Rich Asians. Star is Born. I went to see. I don't know. I liked things. I didn't go to see quite like a few things. Incredibles 2 was a great callback. Bohemian Rhapsody had me living. I saw it twice. The second time I did not have to pay because the ticket was already bought for me. Not Ralph Breaks the Internet. Not Ready Player One. Ready Player One was actually better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that came out like 2 years ago at this point. And Black Panther I had on my honorable mentions. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I know that some people were like, oh, but the effects seemed like... Oh, shit, I also wanted to see... It was so good. What? I also wanted to see Sorry to Bother You, Hereditary, and... I'm not seeing Hereditary. Won't You Be My Neighbor. But also, I had this on my honorable mentions. Incredibles 2. I thought it was going to definitely be on my list, but it was... It's okay. Not... I saw it twice in theaters because I took enough, one of the kids, in my opinion, for her birthday. Not different enough from the first one. Yeah. Still good. Yeah. While I like that it just continued from the first one, I would have liked to have seen, like, years. Yeah. I'm on the same boat. Toy Story style. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to this list. We'll be back next week at the same time as usual. We took a week off, obviously. We were supposed to take 2, but Dan was like, I'm going to do a video game one. Do you want to be in it? And I was like, no. Anyway, be sure to follow us on Twitter. We are at 10for10pod. Email us at 10for10pod@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. We are 10for10 podcast on there. Follow us on Podbean and Spotify and iTunes and, your podcast app. I'm pretty sure that we get kind of put out onto those things automatically. We're on YouTube, 10for10 podcast on there. Leave us a review on iTunes. They are greatly appreciated. But most importantly, take care of yourself and tell your friends, because that's the best way to spread it around. Love you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope that 2019 is great to all of you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Mwah. This podcast is part of the Shrimp Queen Network. Visit facebook.com/Shrimp Queen Network to see more great podcasts. Hear them. Hear more great podcasts. Good job. Thanks for listening.